you seen my malts? Hey, got any malts in the bag?
Hey, you got a light?
That is my best Batman impression.
Oh, that was your Batman?
This is my Batman.
You gotta whisper more.
Hey, got any malts?
There you go, that's better.
Also, do you have any mint? Or some Banaka?
Some water. My throat is really raspy. Welcome back to the Body by Beer podcast. As you can see, Liz and I spent a lot of work this weekend laying brick. It was exhausting, but we did it because we care about you, and you guys wanted to see a prettier background than our, crazy house padded room. Mm-hmm. And so we, laid each brick by hand. We mixed the cement. We have so many blisters.
Yeah.
There you go. Welcome.
It's actually bullshit. They just let us out of solitary confinement.
You're on the outside of the building.
We're still in the recess.
We're in the hallway now.
No, that was really good. That was much better.
My name is Chelsea Rhodes. This is my best friend Elizabeth.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. In today's episode, Sipisode, we're discussing the rise of craft breweries. You can check out our previous video, Has Craft Beer Peaked, or perhaps Summited, where we discussed the Brewers Association article that stated that craft beer has peaked. So refer back to that if you like. But we're going to get right into it today.
Yeah, sit back, relax, and we're going to just get rocking and rolling into Ale Academy. Ale Academy. Goodbye. All right, Liz, how does exploring unique flavors in the world of specialty beers fit into the world of newcomers? What does that mean to them?
What does that mean? Well, craft breweries have mastered the art of creating distinctive beers, providing an array of options for beer enthusiasts to indulge in or partake in. And that ranges from the rich malty stouts to refreshing hoppy ales. Specialty beers offer a buffet of flavors that cater to every palate. So these brews are often handcrafted in small batches, as we've discussed before, which allows for that careful attention to detail and a focus on quality and craftsmanship.
That sounds nice.
Yeah.
That sounds like an article on craft beer, if I've ever read one.
Well, now you get to watch one.
Some of the key factors that set specialty beers apart is the use of exotic ingredients. Right? We all know there's the normal four. We've got water, yeast, malt, hops. But what these guys do that's different is they start throwing in fruits and herbs and specialty yeast to add these extra complex bursts of flavors for your tongue's delight. So just imagine sipping on a crispy wheat beer infused with a raspberry.
Oh, yeah.
A raspberry wheat. Sitting in the sunshine on the beach. The ocean in the background. Some fresh raspberry tickling your tongue. Little smell of salt in the air from the ocean.
Away.
Oh my gosh, what a lovely afternoon that would be.
I'm into it. I've already left. Packed my bags. I'm out of
Mental
this
bags
brick
are
building.
gone. This brick building. Yeah, so it's a nice little change up from your everyday beers. Just give you a little something special. That's the goal.
I like that.
There you go.
I like that. These crafting specialty beers, not only does it transport you mentally, but it's an art form that definitely requires that level of expertise and, of course, passion.
Yeah.
Brewmasters dedicate themselves to perfecting the brewing process. For some, it truly is a lifelong journey. And that ensures that every batch is crafted to perfection. Whether it's the yeast, carefully selected malts, the precise blending of hops, or the innovative fermentation process, the beers are truly a testament to the dedication of the brewers.
Yeah. I mean, It's their canvas.
Oh.
And the ingredients are their paint. And the outcome, we get a drink. So that's nice. I do love looking at art, but tasting it is...
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to say more fun, but it's pretty fun. So how do you fully appreciate the complexities of specialty beers?
That's a good
What
question.
you're going to want to do is you want to take it slow. Take a sip. Make sure you get a good smell. We kind of talked before about, like, either getting a smell in and then taking a drink first, getting a big drink, swishing it around. There's lots of different ways that you can start noticing the different flavors. And, that's why we love the beer and food pairing, because that also gives you a whole different layer of appreciation for the flavors in the beer.
Absolutely.
So there's multiple ways to do it. I'm not going to say some is right or wrong. If you're just going to chug it down, I'll say that's probably wrong because you're not going to get a lot of the flavor out of it.
Depends on your goal.
But in general, yeah, like give it a big old waft, take a drink, and just kind of savor the moment. Savor all the flavors that are coming through.
Absolutely. Should have poured mine into a glass.
Yeah, like an adult.
I've been adulting a lot lately.
Someone's got to.
I needed a break.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, once you start like understanding and getting a good habit in the ways that you're realizing your palate is like appreciating the different flavors and you're getting the aromas better, and start exploring and like getting out of your bubble. Maybe you're big into raspberry wheats and you want to start exploring into like Belgian tripels.
Yes, yes you do.
It's going to be a different glass. It's going to be a whole different mouthfeel, a lot more alcohol usually, and like so there's a lot of different pieces. So start exploring and then remember these fundamentals of how you start like getting and understanding the appreciation for beer, because it might change based on the beer style.
Absolutely. I think that's a really good point to make.
Yeah, like you're not going to do the same kind of drinking process. You may not do the same drinking process for every style of beer.
Right, yeah. Some you definitely want to let them warm up a little bit.
Some you want to let them warm up. Some you want cold.
Yeah. All right. That was really well done. I appreciate that. That pretty much wraps up our session of this Ale Academy. Remember that beer appreciation isn't just about alcohol. It's definitely about the flavors and the craft.
Yeah, get in there. Start tickling those taste buds a little
That's
bit.
right.
And it has been as it's been for the last couple weeks. The Ale Academy is brought to us by our affiliate partner, the Microbrewed Beer Club of the Month. They drink a lot of bad beer, so you don't have to. They're very proud of their selection. You can actually sign up for a limited time membership. You don't have to sign up for a full year. You can do 3 months, and you're able to try out a bunch of different beers. So if this is a new kind of world you want to dabble in, it's a great way to start understanding and getting good beers delivered right to your door. And if you're going to order or you're interested, please use the affiliate link at the bottom of our description. It's a great way for you to support us and our channel. We'll get a little bit of a kickback from it. Mm-hmm. And we're excited to hear what you think and kind of get your opinions on how you liked the different beers that came in, or which one's your favorites, or which ones were new.
Yeah. Also, and there's some special promo codes that are good till the end of the month. Mm-hmm. So depending on which deal you choose, if it's 1 month or if it's 3 months, there's some special promo codes. Check them out in the description below.
I did not know that.
That's okay. That's what I'm here for. I get to pick up the other half. All right. And remember, it's partnerships like these, as you said, that help us bring this awesome content to you on a weekly basis. Keeps us chugging along. So your support is super appreciated.
Appreciated. And with that, we're going to do a little shimmy. Little shimmy into the brew news. The brew news. Shimmy to the brew news. Brew news.
We're on to the brew news.
Brew news!
You bring us down a whole octave.
This segment's dedicated to bringing you the latest in craft beer news. Sometimes we focus on local highlights to the Colorado-Denver area, but honestly, sometimes we don't. And this week is going to be one of those. We have zero news about Colorado. Not that nothing happened, but we chose to focus on some other ones we thought were fun. So that's what we did.
We're going for some different buzzworthy
A
articles.
little different fun going on here.
That's right.
Did you hear about Emma Navarro?
Yes.
You did? Is it because you wrote this?
No, because you sent me the article. Yeah. And that's how I found out.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
All right, so Emma Navarro just celebrated her second round victory at the Australian Open. But what she did was pretty awesome. She ran up to a fan. grabbed their beer, gave it a signature, but didn't just hand it back. Instead, she downed that beer like a champ. And it was awesome.
Because she is a champion.
Because she is a champion. And it was great, right? Like, it was like, sometimes I feel like you see athletes or celebrities and they seem so unapproachable. This made her, like, instantly approachable, instantly fun. I feel like you have the stereotype of Aussies loving to drink. I don't think she is from Australia.
She is.
Oh, she is.
Oh no, she's
no,
an
I don't think so. Yeah.
Aussie. Honorary.
So yeah, like what a great fun way to interact with the fans. It was a great video. She's a pretty good chug. Not gonna lie, she doesn't do a bad job. And what a great beer to.
And then
souvenir.
she signed the bottle.
Yeah. So she signed. I think she signed it, then take a drink.
Oh, see, I missed that part. I was waiting for the punchline. I'm sorry, and I just missed it.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah.
She signed
turn
it.
up your microphones.
My headphones.
Oh, your headphones. Yeah. That was a bad burn. Didn't even say it right. Anyways, a lot of fun. I don't know if you've been following any of the tennis news, but we got some beer news in there out of it.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it'd be fun to watch.
It's a very relatable moment in the world of sports, right?
What's the, who was the football guy that pulled the Sharpie out? And...
Terrell Owens.
There you go. I was like, I know it's an O. What was his nickname?
T.O.
T.O.? Ocho or something?
Nah, that's Chad. Chad Ochocinco. Not him.
Not him. The other one?
Terrell Owens.
Terrell Owens?
T.O. Yeah.
She's like the Terrell Owens of women's tennis.
Except way cooler.
Yeah, way cooler. I'm assuming...
No offense, T.O.
I'm assuming probably pretty much cooler.
You could probably slam a beer, though, too.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I wonder how much the NFL fine would be for that. Slamming someone's beer?
I don't know.
We've been to concerts where they've drank our beers.
Yeah.
Or we've gotten beers for them.
Yeah. It was at the end of her match, though, right? Like, right after she won, she, like, ran over and slammed it? Or was it in the middle of a match?
No, it was after she won. That was her celebration.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
But also, like, it's not as much of a team sport, so I kind of think I feel like, could you just do it anyways? You're really, really hurting yourself.
I'm sure sponsorships would probably have something to say about it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Depending on what image you're trying to paint.
Unless we were your sponsor.
We probably can't afford you. But we're working up to it.
Affiliate link. Just kidding.
Yeah, right. Click on the link.
All right, next story. Thanks for downing a beer with us. It was a good time.
That was. Thanks, Emma. All right, this next one not as humorous or has that comedic effect, but it definitely pulls at the heartstrings a little bit. And I always appreciate a good story like that.
What does your heartstrings sound like? Got her.
I was going to make a joke about not having a heart because I'm more of a tin man.
See, there you go.
The fact that you made it squeak like I was a rusty tin man, that's why you're my best friend.
You're welcome. That made me tear up a little bit.
Okay. And, all right, let's try this story again. Rupee beer out of Maine is expected to continue their exponential growth in 2024.
Yeah.
They're in Maine. Never heard of them, maybe. Why do we care? Well, because, again, it's a good story. And it's put on by Brotherly Love, two brothers, Van and Summit Sharma.
Yep.
They've seen a lot of growth since 2021.
Yeah, which is wild because I feel like that was part of the years that killed a lot of breweries.
Well, they were a COVID thing,
yep.
Right? They decided, why the heck not? And really just went for it.
Stop bonking your cord.
It's actually this cord.
I know, but you're bonking that cord on that cord.
Well, I got my cords. I crossed the streams. So anyway, why do we really care?
Why do we care?
So they are expanding from local sales to being available in 14 states.
Yeah, huge growth.
That's not huge.
Yeah.
And it's shipped to 45. So Rupee Beer is now planning, which is wild, an international expansion into the European Union and the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
So as we kind of said, they were born from a pandemic-inspired idea that to create a lager pairing well with spiced Indian cuisine. Man, delicious, right? Brilliant. Well, and if you've ever been to the Denver area, Yak and Yeti does a really good job.
Yeah.
Um,
And there's like 3 of them.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
there's a market for it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Spice Trade in Aurora kind of set foot out on that. They have like a similar story, right? They're pairing with like Indian foods.
Okay.
Anywho.
Makes sense.
So Rupee Beer, so they've successfully introduced these unique or specially crafted flavors, including basmati rice base lager.
Which is awesome. I mean, I also love basmati rice.
Oh, I mean,
One of my favorites.
if you don't like basmati,
Buzz out of here.
thank you. I couldn't think of one, so I'm glad you jumped in. I was like, I'm going to go for alley-oop. There it was. You didn't throw a brick on that one.
Buzz off.
Buzz off.
Buzz out of here.
Nah. Too failed dad for me.
Okay.
Whatever.
Yeah.
All right, a basmati rice base lager, and then also a mango wheat ale, which isn't too extraordinarily mind-blowing. There's a few mango wheat ales out there, but depending what other spices they're throwing in there, it's probably pretty fascinating when it comes to pairing it with Indian-specific cuisine.
Yeah, that was kind of the thing I thought about was like, one, next time order Indian food, I want to pair it with a mango wheat.
Yeah.
Right? I think the fruity with all the different herbal spices are just really going to pop super nicely. That like a raspberry just wouldn't really make sense for it, but that bright flavor of the mango, I could totally see. I would assume that this wheat is probably pretty heavily on the mango forward to really pop those extra flavors. If they brewed it intentionally to pair with the food, like Indian food's a very big pairing. A big food, big flavors.
Big flavors. And I think if you have too much of a malt-based beer, maybe that would take away from like the curry and the spice.
I would think so. It's
it also might be a nice cool your mouth off.
We will just need to do a whole... Maybe we should order an Indian food one night, just have like different beer selections.
Well, yeah.
That'd be fun.
And then we'll record it and throw it up on the show.
That'd be fun.
I'm all about that.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Last but not least, it's also a blend of Eastern and Western brewing traditions.
The other piece in here was they're getting on the IPA train. They're getting ready to brew their first IPA.
All right.
Yeah, which is...
I don't know why I cut that out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's going to be like their next... They've had a bunch of people request it. It's not really the style that either
Probably
of them...
the Eastern and Western brewing traditions.
Yeah. Like they said, they're not really that into the style itself, and like it doesn't necessarily pair as well as the others. So their goal is to kind of make this really unique IPA that is going to pair well and follow some of their traditional roots.
I love that.
It's going to be I think it'll be cool. I'm like super excited for them and excited that they're crushing it. And yeah, I mean another example that like. Though times were tough, you can still excel. You got to find that unique niche, and that is always the hard part. But
absolutely,
it can still be done.
Yeah.
And they obviously had a whole focus on growing, right? Yeah. Like that's a very different model than just like staying as a tap room and like brewing 100%. Your 10 beers and whatever. Like it's just a different model. So.
Yeah, 100%. That's a good point.
So yeah,
very good point.
A lot of Indian inspired beers out there. These guys are crushing it. Good for them.
Very cool. All right, that's going to do it for our brew news today. We really hope that you enjoyed that segment. And remember, please drop any links or articles in the comments so we can discuss those. Maybe there's some of your favorite articles in the brewing industry or just something you want to talk about in general. Yeah. Happy to get back to you on that.
Yeah, fair. And now, we're going to wiggle our way to our hot domestic inquiries. Wiggle our way to the Q&A. Ooh. Wiggle our way to the Q&A. I was doing some research on the Oscars. I'm feeling fancy.
All right. Sweet.
All
right. The topic for this week is what are breweries doing in the digital world to stand out? Did you know that craft breweries are not only winning over beer enthusiasts with their delicious beers, but also with their digital marketing strategies? Yeah, craft beers across the globe are using social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to stand out in this crowded industry, showcasing their unique brewing techniques and the creative process behind their beers. These breweries are able to engage with their target audience on a whole different level, and I think that what you kind of summarized really quick in there that needs maybe a little extra punch,
People love seeing behind the scenes, right? Showing what you're
raw,
doing.
the better.
Yeah, like we're also hitting a new wave of social media where literally the more raw, the better. Like people are liking seeing much more genuine, less edited content. And think about that. Like as long as you're okay with being that vulnerable, it actually makes it a lot easier on you. You don't have to do nearly the amount of editing, and that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, for sure. Less time. More time to do what you love rather than spending it on the tedious, perhaps, tasks.
Yeah.
So, through the captivating photos and or videos, craft breweries are able to tell a visual story, right? You get to see the action. It's taking beer enthusiasts on that journey with you, from the hops to the glass, malts to the barrel, whatever. But it's not just about pretty pictures and interactive videos. Craft breweries are also leveraging the power of hashtags to amplify their reach and connect with beer lovers worldwide, right? Get out of your bubble. How do you get into, an international sales? Well, you got to reach a global audience if that's something that you want to do.
Yeah, that's what you're going for. By using popular related hashtags like craft beer and beer lover, breweries are able to tap into existing communities and expand their reach beyond their local markets. Yeah. Because that's a goal, right? Like, it doesn't have to stop there, but that's the goal of the market, right? You're trying to market to grow, right? Like, if you already have people coming into the doors, those are your best people you want to be hitting and marketing to, which is where you have stuff up on your walls, you have like your crew talking about stuff, you're making a lot of buzz around different events as they're going on. For sure. But if you're trying to bring people in, you don't need to tap into the same audience that you have. Now you're letting them know to get them back in the door, but in general, like hashtags and these type of things are looking to grow your audience. And get them out, spread the word to the world. You can also like niche it in a bit more. Instead of just like beer lovers, maybe it's Denver beer lovers or whatever your city beer lovers is, which is going to put you in a little bit more of a niche audience in a less competitive space. Sure. And then they're also partnering with bloggers and influencers on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTubers. And those people are helping, push brands, talk about your merch, talk about what's going on, hit a new audience that, maybe they might not show up, in a week, but if someone's planning a trip to your city, if they saw it on with other influencers talking about it, they hit that save button, and next time they're coming to the area, they're already going to think about you as kind of different because there's not a lot of breweries really leveraging the presence of social media as well as it could be with like the influencers, and so when people see it, they're like, "Damn, you must be doing pretty good." If
or
I
you
saw
get it,
you,
right?
whatever,
like,
So.
When I travel, I'm looking for that like easy button.
Yeah,
right?
there's a lot to process when you're traveling.
Oh my gosh, there's so many things I want to do, but I only have so much amount of time. But I think that's a whole segment in and of itself. So for those breweries that are doing this, right, they understand that in today's digital age, standing out is more important, obviously, than ever before. I mean, that's why they're using digital marketing to not only showcase their exceptional beers, but also to build that brand loyalty and connect with their customers on a personal level. Right. It's definitely, we talk about, are you listening? Do you know what your audience likes? That's a big part of it. Right. And a whole other realm of interacting with the people that are coming through your doors. It's not just about the recurring, right? You got to have those new people stepping foot inside the door as well. Yeah. So the next time, beer lovers, you're scrolling through your social media feed, keep an eye out for these craft breweries that are doing the digital marketing or looking to do it, and the incredible beers that they create. Yeah, I think we hear it all the time. People being like, "Oh, do I really need to? What's the return on investment?" And it's such a hard question to answer. And I know, like as people that own a marketing company for the craft beer space, like that's not the answer you want to hear. Right. But when you go to a festival and you bust out all your sunglass swag, what's your return on investment on that? You don't know. That's why marketing is hard to get that actual ROI on. Right. But what you have to remember is if you don't put anything out and nobody knows about it, nobody's going to show up except for maybe the people that are
in your doors every Saturday,
Right.
which is great.
Oh, yeah.
Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but that's not necessarily, that's not going to make your event boom. And so you really do need it, and you need to be like, follow the pages that you like and you think are a bit unique, but try to put your own twist on it.
Yes.
Try to be a little bit more
Get your
unique.
brand in there.
Get your brand, get your style, get your passions in there. Like, it's a fun place to be creative. And I know a lot of people that own breweries are brewers. Hit that hard. I feel like a lot of places really don't hit that as hard as like they could. And it's so easy to set up a time lapse on your phone, and you just get a couple of these little little stands. You plug your phone into it, and it makes it so much easier to be like, oh, I guess I'll just record this versus like, oh, I can't get my phone to balance. Oh, there's the angle, all this stuff. Like, there's ways to do it. It really is important. Most people in the craft beer space that are looking to know what's going on at the breweries they love are using social media. They're not going to your
100%.
website. They're using social media for it. And now you're getting into the younger generations. They're not reading it. They're watching videos on it. Like, videos are the new king. They have been for a while. It's not even new. They have been for like 5 years. But and beyond. Keep that in mind, right? There's great tools out there that you can use to make quick little videos. But end of the day, make it about you. Make it be fun. Try not to burn yourself out on it. Try not to overthink it. Have fun. Enjoy it.
That's right.
That's right.
The more raw, the better.
Be raw. Raw. Yeah, that is Lady Gaga like her steak.
Rah, 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 rah. That was my nasal impression. Sorry, lady.
Sorry, lady. Lady Gaga.
Gaga.
Oh, man, we're going to wiggle to our main segment. It's coming in. Wow.
It's like right here.
It is right here. Main segment. All right, our main segment today, we are going to discuss how breweries found themselves on the rise. So we're going to dive into the world of real ale. We'll uncover the extraordinary journey that has revolutionized the craft beer industry.
That's right.
That's right.
Craft breweries have emerged, as the pioneers of the brewing world. They challenge the traditional norms, and they redefine what it means to enjoy a beer.
Yeah.
And in the latter part of the last decade or so, or recent years, there's been an explosion.
That wasn't a very good explosion.
Of these small-scale breweries. Where passion meets creativity. Which yielded a whole new array of flavors and experiences.
Yeah.
Right? Experiences,
yeah. It's all about the experience. As anything that rises, it must fall.
The hero must fall.
The hero must fall. And we're kind of in that a little bit right now, right? The craft beer industry, we're even stating that it has peaked. It is definitely on a bit of a fall right now. But it's gone through this wave before, and it has jumped back up, and we saw a lot of consolidation, and we saw a lot of different trends that we're starting to see today.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's not surprising, because history has a habit of repeating itself.
Fascinating.
So to give some hope in what we might call the dark downtime of the craft beer scene.
At least the dark ages in beer isn't infested with rats spreading the Black Plague.
Truth. At least that we know of.
Yeah, at least that we know of.
Craft brewers pride themselves on using only the finest ingredients, ensuring that each sip is a masterpiece. From locally sourced hops to unique yeast strains, these artisans create beers that are a true reflection of their craftsmanship, which is why the surge and perhaps sudden plateau. It's a hard job to maintain that much creativity.
It's exhausting.
All
the time.
And on top of it, it's not even just like maintain it. It's just a lot of people caught up, right? Like
Yeah.
Think of like the hazy craze coming out. Like hazies were all over. And then it kind of hit a point where it was like...
Yeah. That was on my to-do list too. The rise and fall of hazies.
Huzzazzies.
Huzzazzies?
Huzzazzies.
Alright.
Like you just kind of hit a point where you're like, man, I've kind of had a lot of those aren't tasting as unique as they did for a while. And it just is what it is. It's hard to... you summarize it up nice with like, it's hard to maintain that level of creativity. But there's also, I think beyond that of...
You summarized it.
A lot of breweries just start repeating the breweries around them. It just, whether it's creative or not, if someone's just going to copy it, like, it's not creative.
Think of our friend Kevin from a couple weeks ago. Not your Kevin, volleyball Kevin, and he was like, I don't even like going into breweries anymore because it's the same IPA and it's the same pale ale and it's the same lager, and you're like, bummer.
Yeah.
Especially from people that really, really love the craft beer scene, right? Yeah. But I mean, that's the tangent that we went on there before, right? Like, have an experience, right? Get to know your people, make it more interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
So, anyway, it's never just about the taste when we're talking about these crafts that are brewed. It's about the community.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about. Craft breweries have become hubs of social interaction. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, come here often? All right. Anyway, it's about bringing people together to savor these brews, right? Experience the art together. And dear God, can we get a Meet the Brewer event? Really, those are just way overlooked. And I feel like ask about them if you're going in, or maybe bring it up to your boss, tapper manager. Anyway.
They're great. They're great events.
It creates a lively conversation.
It does.
I do believe that it would. And what sets craft breweries apart from your favorite domestic beer, right? Well, what is it? Is their dedication to experimentation.
Yeah.
Right? Going above and beyond. No flavor combination is off limits, right? We can get creative as you want to do, leading to the birth of countless innovative and unexpected brews that push beyond the boundaries of what we ever thought beer would or could be.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like a lot of goals is to make beer be as prestige as wine, right? Like, I'm not saying wine also isn't on a bit of a plateau, because there's like kind of just not a whole lot of drinking trend going on currently. But
in honor of Dry expensive. January, we've created Hops Anonymous.
Hops Anonymous. Downing all your hop-flavored water to still get your hop-flavored tastes. Yum. Brewers emphasize on quality, creativity, and community. The craft breweries are reinvigorating the art of brewing, captivating both connoisseurs and newcomers alike. So next time you raise a pint, take a moment to appreciate the craftsmanship behind the sip, because there usually is a lot of love and passion, and
100%.
And then you throw in like the names. Like, there's just so many pieces that if you can really get in, if you can really start like loving those pieces, like why you bring up Meet the Brewers, because you're meeting the artist behind it, right? Like,
I want to meet Picasso, brewer Picasso.
Yeah, like Picasso, tell me about why you put this line here, what this was about, like. And maybe that's part of the stress of why brewers don't like doing it, because they're like, I don't know, because it was on sale, so we got those hops. Like, maybe
because they're not like that typical artist that can't wait to have their showcase out on New York main streets.
The master of BS.
Well, maybe they just need someone to do it for them.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's what marketing's for.
That's right.
But like in general, it gives this great way to make your beers still be the hero. Because, a lot of times we do talk about creating this unique and this environment and entertainment. But we were reading through comments, and there's this, more than one person was really surprising, talking about how they didn't really care about the environment. They want a good beer, which was not the common statement, but we were like, okay, we need to like take a moment and appreciate that.
For sure.
And for sure. My favorite was, I've never been to an environment that was so good it made a crappy beer taste better. That was hilarious to me. I was like, all right, well, touche. Yep. So kind of what we're trying to emphasize here is you can still create a really awesome environment and an awesome culture around the beer, but it's really hard to do that without the brewers being part of that and talking about it and talking about this thing. Like, how easy is it for you have a new shipment of new grains to come in, or yeast or fruits or something, and you take a picture of it and you're like, oh, what do you think we're going to brew?
Set up your GoPro, right?
What do you think we're brewing this week? What kind of flavors are we? What kind of beer is this going to be? Like, you can play with your audience and still make the beer be the hero. And you don't have to necessarily run oodles of events. But yeah, like, you'd probably want to emphasize flights in your marketing. You probably want to do Meet the Brewers. You probably want to do food pairings, right? Like, but this are all events that are putting beer as the hero, as your culture builder. Yeah. And that's awesome to do. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's really hard if you have brewers that don't want to be part of it. or aren't doing tap takeovers are a great way to really focus on the beer. Yep. But again, you need someone there. Like, people like talking to the brewer. Like, and I know it kind of sucks. You can be front of the house. You can be all these other parts of the business. But people like talking to the brewer. Mm-hmm. And so hiring a brewer that is social is not a bad investment. And honestly, you probably should pay them a little bit more because there's few of them. They're their own little niche of people that actually like to come out and talk. But
it's like having a good sales engineer.
Yes, right? That, like, oh man, like, it's just so fun when you have a brewer that wants to come out and they're passionate and they want to talk about what they're doing. I think that's a really good point. Really good point. Kodiak, who is their brewer they just brought in from Left Hand? Brad. I can't remember his name. He was fantastic, though. We'll put his name in it. Like, he was so sociable and he loved talking about why he named the beers.
It's Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff. It is Jeff, yep. Like, why he loved brewing beers, what, like, ingredients he did, how he kept stuff clean. Like, he was just so passionate about the whole process that it was hard not to be captivated with his passion in it.
Yeah, and Steven's good for that, too.
Yeah, Steven's also great for that.
But he puts himself out there. Yep. You watch their videos, it's him and packing the malts.
Yep, and it's
sweet.
It's not complex. It's not hard marketing to do, but it's there.
And again, if you don't want to do it, or you can't find someone that's willing to put themselves out there, have a representative do it, right?
Come put a malt bag over their head and just dump some... I'm just kidding.
Hello, I'm Brewer Malt.
Like Marshmallow, the song person. I don't know if he's a rapper.
That would be hilarious. Write that down.
It's just a big hop head that the brewer
We should do
wears.
a whole... To tap into the homebrew hashtags, we should wear a bag on our head and do... Home brewing. Brewing our brains. We'll call it bag on head brewing. Bag on head home brewing. Put a bag on it, home brewing.
Put a bag. Sounds like a condom company.
Same thing. Unwrap the magic.
Beer goggles.
They're not a real thing.
They're not a real thing.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that was awesome. That was a good... Sorry.
Yeah, no.
I keep interrupting.
Thank you. No, you're good. I'm done. That's all I got.
That's really good.
I think it's cool. Make that beer the hero.
Make the magic happen.
You don't have to shy away from it. We're not trying to take away from good beer deserves an appreciation. It deserves an audience. We're just saying, like, do something with it. Make it fun. Have a good time with it. Marketing should be fun.
It should be fun and less stressful.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate that, and thank you for watching our dive into the world of craft breweries, as we always are, swimming amongst the malts and hops. This week's episode is brought to you by Mustard Later. Ooh, the craft beer digital marketing and influencing hub. When you don't have time to catch up, you mustard later.
You know why that matters?
Why does that matter?
Because we love marketing and we have a lot of fun with it.
Yes.
And if you're a brand and you want your brand to be fun, we're pretty good at that. If you do not want your brand to be fun, we would probably not be a good hire.
I would put a bag on my head for you. if we needed the money bad enough, for sure.
If we needed the money bad Yeah, if you're looking for a little consulting call, we can kind of help get you on the right track. We've done it once or twice or 4 or 5 or 6, 7 times, a handful. So yeah, hit us up, shoot us an email, give us a call.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
Put it in the comments.
Yeah. Put it in the comments. Have any questions? Put those in. We might answer them and get you some free advice because comments are sweet.
They are pretty cool. All right, beer lovers, we're moving on.
Okay.
It's time for some beer facts. Welcome to the Beer Facts segment where we chat about fun facts. You guessed it, about beer.
What?
What?
Plot twist.
I didn't see that coming.
I didn't see it coming at all.
And I said it.
And I said it. As you guys know, this is my favorite part because this is what I love to do when I was bartending. Like, find fun things, talk about it with the audience. If you're in the same boat, then, listen along. You might find some good little nugget to blow your customers' minds, and you'll have something fun to talk about.
Let us blow your mind.
Let us blow your mind. So in 2 days, on the 24th of January, we will be hitting the anniversary of the first beer can that was ever sold in 1935.
That's pretty cool.
1935.
1935. Okay.
Kruger's Cream Ale and Kruger's Finest Beer hold a special place in this beer history. because
Okay.
they were the first beers sold in cans, marking a significant innovation in the beverage industry. You should find a little picture, but I'm guessing like a pull tab?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, like, well, like just like that?
Yeah. I was thinking pull tabs, right? Loser. Loser.
Oh, you're going like, those are fun.
The pull tabs and the machines.
So the change was a success, to say the
That's what I
least.
hear.
There was an overwhelming response of yippies and hoo-has.
Yeehaw!
Woo-has. Hee-haws? Hoo-has. There we go.
Woo-ha.
There you go. Gaining a remarkable 91% approval rating.
That's a lot.
That's rare. Most movies don't even get that. The introduction of canned beer revolutionized the way people consumed and enjoyed beer, offering a new level of convenience and portability. The shift not only reflected changing customers' preferences, but it set a new standard in beer packaging, influencing the industry for generations to come. Yeah, I mean, imagine camping and not having those anymore.
Especially when they say no glass allowed.
Or you just don't have it because you can only get it in like a glass. Sad times, Those were really the dark times.
You know what? Good point.
Before cans. Before you could drink beer at home easily.
You had to buy
a day of work.
Probably buy
during work.
sixels and kegs. You had to take the whole keg home. I don't think that's true,
I don't
right?
think
Like growlers have been a thing for a long time. How long have they been a thing?
I don't know. That'd be a good fact. We should look up the growlers.
Write that down.
Growler history.
But probably purchasing in larger quantities.
I just don't think they brought it home. I just think they went to the pubs. I think that's the only way to get it. Like maybe growler type of concepts with it. Because it wasn't like that carbonated, so it didn't really need to be like sealed.
Right.
Like, I mean, way back in the day.
More whiskey drinking?
Probably. I don't know.
Not sure. Buy a bottle.
Yeah. Here's a fun fact riddled with questions.
Those are some of the best ones, though.
Here's yours.
Because it extends beyond this episode and this segment. Right? We get to bring it back.
Yeah. I like bringing it back.
All right. Got another one for you.
Okay.
And it's not necessarily a fun fact. It is a fun fact because it's factual and it has facts.
Is it fun?
It is fun for the company. It's also like a news article. It's kind of like a brew news fun fact hybrid. But again...
A fun brew?
A fun brew.
Yeah.
I like fun brew.
Okay.
So, Athletic Brewing Company, we can thank them for what they've done for the non-alcoholic beers in the world as they are today, and their inspiration for a lot of other people to get their NAs out there.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Get your NA out there.
Get your NA out there. Yeah. I don't know what that is.
Get your NA out there.
If you don't know, they are out of Stratford, Connecticut, and they happen to achieve a rather remarkable milestone in 2022, ranking as the 23rd top producing brewery in the United States. I'll say that one more time. 23rd top producing brewery in the United States. So not NA brewery, not alcohol producing brewery, but brewery.
Just all brewery.
All breweries. They're 23rd. They Michael Jordan the shit out of that.
Nice. That's... I was shook.
Shooketh. The ground shook beneath your feet.
Yeah, when I read that, I was like,
Yeah,
how in the world has an NA company reached that mile marker, pumping out that much beer?
Because they did a really good thing.
And it's not, it's like part of it was financials, but it's like producing. It's that amount of beer they produce is where this list came from. And that's insane.
They saw an open lane and they drove in the paint and they slam dunked the shit out of that, right? I mean, because at the time, it wasn't a big market. I mean, Heineken's had their NA for quite some time. Busch Light, right? AB and Bev, right? But to have a craft brew NA, right? Athletic Brewing Company. Anyway, congratulations to them.
And they opened in 2017.
Holy shit.
So they haven't even been around that long. So in 6 years.
5 years. 5 years.
Yeah.
2022, they achieved an incredible feat. I love their
5
logo
years.
too, by the way. They have a great
5
logo.
years, yeah.
Right. It's reaching, what it does is it reflects that significant shift in consumer trends towards healthier, non-alcoholic options, which so does not surprisingly showcase the company's ability to innovate and appeal to a broader audience. And again, we really see it this year with the number of options on the shelf.
Yeah.
Again, Athletic went through, they made it happen because there was an opening, brought it to the craft industry, and they're kicking ass and taking names. And now other people are doing it too. Why? Because it makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, I mean, when you get that kind of traction in 5 years, it's pretty
hard
wild.
to go unnoticed. Yeah.
So this is, I know it seems weird because we're in 2024 talking about 2022. This list came out in April of last year. So we're assuming we'll get an updated list of what the top producing breweries of 2023 were around April of this year. So we'll circle back to this and talk about what happened last year when the article comes out. But it's not out yet, so that's why it feels old, but it's not. I mean,
but it's really not.
Yeah, it's just we don't have updated information yet.
We're living in the effects of it now, and then we'll read about last year's effects.
See how they grow. See if they move up.
Pretty cool. Yeah. Good luck to them.
Good luck to them.
All right, that's gonna do it for our beer facts today. Stay with us for a round of Brews and Bites. We are always excited for the eats and drinks. That is because it is near and dear to our
stomachs,
our
mouths,
nose. All right, let's get into the Brews and Bites. This week we're going to talk about malts. We're getting on the malt train and how they affect our favorite eats and treats. Chelsea, why don't you start us off with some pairings?
We talked about hops. Was that last week?
Hops. 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago, yeah. So now we're bringing it to you with the malts.
Malts.
I feel like hops are high and malts are low.
Malts.
This can hurt your throat there.
Have you seen my malts? Hey. Got any malts in the bag?
Hey, you got a light?
That is my best Batman impression.
Oh, that was your Batman?
This is my Batman.
You gotta whisper more.
Hey, got any malts?
There you go, that's better.
Also, do you have any mint? Or some Banaka?
Some water. My throat is really raspy.
Fuck it, just give me a cigarette. I quit smoking 10 years ago.
I want it back.
Back.
All right, okay. We're going to get into the fascinating world of different malts, discovering how they impact our flavors of beers and food. Malts are the backbone of many beers.
You're goddamn right they are.
They are delicious. They tend to give a little bit of the sweetness.
We'll get into that.
More flavors. But what malts do really well, other than creating beer, they create great beer and food pairings.
That was good.
So what are we going to pair first there, Lizzie?
All right, first up, let's talk about the pale malt.
Didn't like the sun?
No, they're just mostly Northern European. I kid. Cute. But kind of. All right, they are derived from the lightly kilned barley. Which imparts a crisp and clean taste to beers, making it more of a go-to choice for classic styles like your pilsners and your pale ales. It's light color. It also adds that touch of brightness to any culinary creations.
Eeny. They're just good for all of them. A little crackery goodness for whatever you're eating.
Yeah. Well, it's that's more on the visual side of things, right? If I have my light colored pilsner.
Oh, I see. That's your visual. I understand that.
Yeah.
I get it. It's about the eyes. So obviously if there's lighter malts, there's going to be darker malts. What goes up must also come down. What is light usually has dark as well.
Luke.
The roasted malt with its rich color and robust flavor adds a depth and complexity to their stouts and the porters that they are brewed in. Imagine the velvety smoothness of a chocolatey stout or the intense aroma of a coffee-infused porter. These malts elevate not just your beers, but also your desserts or your savory dishes.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so I think you got some of those big malty flavors with your porters. Get some dessert action. Get some big old savory meals going. They're going to go great. They're going to go great together.
So good. All right. Next up, we have the caramel malt. As its name suggests, it brings it has that delightful sweetness and caramel-like aroma to beers. Caramel malt, caramel aroma. Its malty richness can oftentimes make a beautiful pairing with roasted meats, adding a tantalizing depth of flavor to your dish.
Yum.
Yum.
Yum. And let's not forget the smoky malt. Smoky.
Hey, gotta like.
Hey. This distinct malt made from kilned barley, sometimes dried over a peat fire. Imparts a unique smoky flavor reminiscent of a campfire. Elevates your favorite Scotch ales and lends to a touch of intrigue to grilled meats and even desserts like a smoky chocolate.
Ooh.
The grilled meats are great.
Yeah.
You can really smoke it up, pair it with a cigar.
Oh, yeah.
Anything grilled veggies, any of that's going to be really, really good together.
Absolutely. That's a good point.
Smoke and smoke just work. They just work.
I mean, I walk through the smoke. I smoke the smoke and walk through the smoke. And I eat the smoke and I drink the smoke.
I don't know what you're referencing.
I don't either. I'm just making it up. All right, and finally we have specialty malts, and they can add a whole variety of character and individuality to your beers and foods. And those often range from biscuity notes to fruity undertones. These malts provide endless possibilities for creative brewing and your cooking experimentation.
A little fruit pop in there, a little bit of sweet and spicy. Yeah, there's some good options in there. So whether you're a beer enthusiast or a culinary explorer, understanding the impact of different malts is key to unlocking a whole new world of flavors. Experiment, create, and savor the incredible transformation that diverse malts bring to your favorite beverages.
For sure.
And culinary delights. Just read that label on the back of your beer can, whose anniversary is in 2 days, and get your malts and kind of explore it. Great way, flights. Get a malty flight. Usually you can ask your bartender.
Yeah.
What's your malty ones?
They'll know how to hook you up.
Yeah. Pair that with whatever food truck or what they got going on. There's some good options you can explore around with that. Even if it's just a basket of fries. See what different malts do with the basket of fries and some ranch.
Because it might depend on what kind of oil they're using or what salts they put on there.
Well, a lot of good things.
As always, in each pairing, the goal is to either complement or contrast the flavors. Yep. Because that's what makes, all the profiles pop. All right. So thanks for tuning in to our Brews and Bites segment today. We sure do appreciate you dropping by.
Yeah. What we could have even done is how to malts pair with grilled cheese sandwiches. So you can order your new cheeses from the Original Gourmet Cheese Club, which is our other affiliate partner, and brought this segment to you. There's a link at the bottom of our description that allows you to help support us and get some bomb-ass cheeses in your fridge to pair with some sweet beers. So check it out. They've got 25 years of experience packaging and shipping cheese, and start making some different recipes, you silly little cheesemongers.
Make sure to click that link at the very bottom, as Chelsea said. And also remember, we've got some super special promo codes happening till the end of the month. So depending on which package you want to get it in on, make sure to use those codes and get a deal on a great cheese deal.
Extra cheese. I really want the smoky malt.
Cheese.
I kind of want to do a smoky beer with some cheese.
I thought of that earlier.
Sounds
but
nice.
we could probably do some hey, look at what we did.
Yeah, smoky beer and cheese sounds nice.
Sounds
I think I'm a little hungry.
Yeah, I had cheese for brunch.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't need to be hungry to have cheese and pairing on anything. That's just life.
I could be bursting at the seams and take down a can of Cheese Whiz.
My cheese compartment's not full yet. Got my dessert. Dessert compartment never fills up either. All right, we're going to wrap this lovely Sipisode up with our new segment, And honestly, one we're really excited about. It's been a lot of fun kind of making these lists. And it is our top 10, weekly top 10.
That's right.
Body by beer. Our beer top 10.
All right. We're going to uncover some fascinating facts about beer styles that will blow your mind. Boom, boom, boom. So grab a cold one, maybe an NA, maybe an A, and get ready for 10 mind-blowing beer style facts.
Sit down. You might want to be sitting for this. Don't want to blow your mind while you're standing up.
That's right.
Get messy. Fact number 1. Did you know the world's oldest beer recipe dates back to ancient Mesopotamia over 4,000 years ago?
I did not.
Yeah, the Sumerians sure knew what they were doing. Now to get their way around a brewery.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
It's kind of in the name.
Yeah.
All right. Fact number 2. Have you ever heard of a style called Goes?
A geese?
Or Goes? It originates from Germany
Geese?
and is known for its unique salty and sour flavors.
Yeah.
Talk about a taste bud adventure.
Yeah. Good in the summertime. It's like a marg beer, kind of like a little margarita, salty.
Fair.
Usually
Yeah.
they're lime. They don't have to be, but a lot of times they're
Yeah.
good.
That's a good point.
Fun fact number 3. Belgium is renowned for its beer. But did you know that they have a special style called a lambic?
Lambic. I love a lambic.
I also love it. They're my favorite. What sets it apart is its wild yeast used for fermentation, giving it a distinct, funky flavor.
One of the coolest brewery tours ever.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Is that Cantillon.
Yeah, I gotta go back to
Yeah,
Belgium.
we gotta go.
Gotta go back.
Gotta go. Fact number 4. If you think beer is just for chugging, you're right, and we can be friends. Think again. I was just kidding. There's a traditional Danish beer style called aquavit, where the beer is aged in oak barrels and infused with spices. It's a sipping experience.
It's for
Might
sipping.
not want to chug that one. It's a sipper.
Yeah, kind of with like the lambics. Usually sours aren't chuggers either.
Give me heartburn about chugging.
Yeah, eventually. But gotta love them.
Too much yeast in the gullet.
Have you ever tried a Rauch beer?
See.
Rauch?
Also, one of my favorite experiences is going to Bamberg and drinking all the rock beer I could handle.
Oh,
They were beautiful times.
man. Yeah, that's a great area that kind of like
It's kind of where it started.
Yeah, and the malts, like it has
Yeah.
smoky malts that give it a smoky flavor.
Oh, sorry.
The malt's dried open over flames, and it's like sipping on a campfire in your glass. There, they are really good. I feel like a lot of beers when we go over to like these older areas that like these styles come from.
Mm-hmm.
In the U.S., we just like overdo it, and it's just like way too big,
Or
bold
look
of
past.
flavors.
Yeah.
And so then when you get there and you're like, oh, this is where these styles came from, they're so much more mild and well balanced, and like
It's like they've been doing it.
it's
for
like they've
a
been doing it, and they're
long
not just like, well, it says smoky, so it's got to be smoky. Like there's like hints of it, and it's actually very palatable instead of like drinking a glass of liquid jerky.
Yes. Agree.
Yeah. So
Agree,
that was.
agree.
I was hesitant when you brought back all of the beers, and they were all fantastic.
Oh
and
my
they didn't
God.
even have to be cold. They were great.
No. Yeah. Like that. They stood the test of train travel, air travel, boat travel in my head. Anyway,
Yeah.
good stuff. All right.
Good stuff.
Fact
6.
number 6. We all know about IPAs. What? Just kidding. But
What are
have you
those?
heard of black IPAs? Kind of like a hoppy porter. These dark beauties combine the hoppy bitterness of an IPA with the rich roasted malts of a porter or stout.
Yeah.
Also delicious.
Also delicious. I think I told you I had
Harder to find.
a white IPA.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Yeah. Not a fun fact. I mean, it was in my palate because I'd
Yeah.
never had a white IPA
Yeah.
before. It was a hazy white IPA, and it basically had the yeast of like a Belgian white, that like really orangey, not like as much banana, but really orange like flavor that the whites, the Belgian whites have. And think of like White Rascal, great
Yeah.
example case.
Yeah.
But then you got like some of the mango and the fruitiness from the hazy. It was a little too much on the Belgian flavor for me, or not enough on like the other hazy flavors. But
Yeah.
it was right there. It needed a little tweaking, but I've never had
I would
anything
love
like
to
it.
try
It was great.
that. Like a hoppy wit beer.
Yeah, it's like a hoppy whip beer. It was good.
That was in... Where were you at?
Colorado Springs. Goat Patch.
Goat Patch Brewery.
Yeah.
That's a cool name.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a great little place. That was just really unique. I can't tell you the last time I've sat down and had a beer that I was like, holy crap, I've never had anything like this before.
That's so cool.
It's been a minute.
That's super cool.
So,
super cool.
For what I can tell, they didn't really have anything to go unless you had a growler, which we did not have one on us. So,
Sure.
couldn't bring it back. And you're not drinking for another 8 days. So,
well, technically I have to drink tomorrow.
And tonight.
And tonight.
Training. Cicerone. Anyway,
Right.
okay. Number 7. Do you love coffee?
Yes.
You do love coffee.
I literally go to bed and can't wait to wake up in the morning to drink coffee.
Yeah.
It's a very real thing.
It's a lot of love for coffee. I don't love coffee that much. I actually like coffee and beer more than I like coffee without beer.
Fair.
Coffee stouts are brewed with coffee beans. This beer style packs a punch of caffeine and deliciousness. Talk about waking up your taste buds, and maybe don't drink these right before bed. Generally,
It's pretty low.
yeah, they're pretty low in caffeine, but they do have some. So if you're sensitive, never recommend someone that's sensitive to caffeine drinking at
Don't do
night.
it.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
They'll get you.
Yeah, they will. All right.
Get you.
Gonna get you one way or another. I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna coffee bean ya. That's really awkward.
I like that. That was really good.
Fact number 8. Here's a surprising style. This was newer to me from Finland called sati.
Sati.
S-A-H-T-I.
Sati.
It's made with juniper berries and branches, which produces a unique and earthy flavor that'll transport you into the Nordic forest.
Yeah.
Like a nymph.
Like a little nymph.
Wandering wild in the Finland forest.
Are you wandering wild because you're drunk on this beer?
Just talking about it.
It actually reminded
Juniper
me
drunk.
of original beer recipes from
For sure.
way back in the day. I can't remember what was it's not Mesopotamia. What's that whole area called?
I forget, but you did a video on it.
Yeah, I did a video on it, and it talked about that whole Nordic area.
Yeah,
and
that's probably exactly what it is.
they have kind of gin type of flavors to the beers because of the
juniper.
Yeah, the juniper and the berries and stuff that are there, and so it's really traditional style of beers.
We should probably go to Finland.
OG traditional style.
As well.
Yeah, it's they found it in caves and digging up pots from the ground, kind of old. Yeah.
Maybe I'll think of that, what you said in that video.
I don't remember either.
That's all right.
Get ready to pucker up for fun fact number 9, which is a Berliner Weiss, which originated in Germany, and the style is known for its refreshing tartness. A little bit more tart than the Goose.
Yeah.
The Gyoza. Less tart than the Lambic, so it's going to be a little bit more in between.
Somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, and what's kind of unique about these is they actually flavor them with different syrups.
Next to the left of me. Goes to the right. Stuck in the middle with Berliner Weiss.
That was really good.
Thank you, Steelers Wheel.
It's like a child story. Rhymed so nicely.
Clowns to the left of me. Jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you.
Yeah, I just wouldn't have mixed those. I liked it. That was good. You're like the new Weird Al.
Just call me Weird L. L for winner.
L for love. So yeah, putting little syrups, little flavors. It's kind of a lot of times sours will have a table base, and then they'll brew a big batch, and then they'll barrel age some, or they'll throw raspberries or cherries or all these other flavors in them. But the base is a little bit, not necessarily more bland, but you're going to just kind of get really basic flavors. More of the complexities of the yeast that are coming in, because those don't get masked by the fruits and whatnot. That's kind of what those are, but they put syrups in them instead of aging them with fruit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This one often reminds me of homesteading, where oftentimes my mom, my grandma, my sister in the kitchen making jams, and then the guys were like, what are we going to do with these jams? What are we going to do with these extra fruits? Maybe they don't want to give them all up to make them out of jams, and they're like, oh, we can make this Berliner Weiss out of it.
There you go.
That's kind of how I see it. I'll work on that story, because I feel like it could be more visually appealing.
I've got this beer.
Yeah,
we happen to have all these jams. I want some more flavor in it. Probably made it more desserty.
Exactly.
Probably where it came from.
What was Ma's cherry pie? Who does that one? Crooked Stay? No, I don't remember.
Actually, I think that is right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anywho, last but not least, fact number 10. We have the sake beer from Japan, combining the flavors of rice wine and beer. Another, probably, we've got one, we've got two, let's put it into one.
Yeah.
It really transports you on a journey for sure. And it's from the land of the rising sun, which is Japan.
Like you gave
Rice,
yourself that one
wine,
on
and beer.
purpose.
Rice,
so
wine, and
you
beer.
can
Well,
say
I
it.
was like, why did they call it the land of the rising sun?
Oh, I didn't.
And poor summary is basically when the Chinese would look to the east, they said that it looked like the sun was rising out of Japan, so the land of the rising sun. And I think the natives call it like Nahuni or something. That's like a really botched English translation, but basically means where the sun rises.
Cool.
Yeah.
Little
Triple fun fact.
Yeah, sneaky fun fact in there you didn't know.
Sneaky. It was samurai. It was a little ninja fact.
Ooh.
Maybe that's too much.
No, that is perfect.
All right.
I like it. So yeah, top 10 done. Thank you guys for watching this week's Sipisode.
That's right.
Hopefully you enjoyed it. We had a great time writing it. We had a great time drinking beer and talking to you about it because it's fun.
That's right.
So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the Body by Beer podcast and keep watching, keep hanging out with us. You can catch new episodes every single Wednesday. Our lovely editor, Sam, throw a picture of yourself in, give a wave if you want to.
Don't
He is
put a bag on your
fantastic.
head.
Don't put a bag on your head. Does a lot of cool programs and like trivia and bingo and a bunch of fun shit around Denver area.
Yep.
Should Have Been Drink is his other company. It's a great time. He's a lot of fun. And check us out. We're on Apple, YouTube, Spotify, so we can get the podcast. And then in addition, follow us on all the social medias at Body by Beer Podcast.
That's right.
Simple, easy. Same across all.
If you're looking for ways to support the podcast, we're happy to announce that our merch page is up. Link is in the description below. Make sure to go check it out because we're really excited to be here and make some super fun, incredible memories with you. And make sure to come back and join us next week on the Body by Beer podcast, where we will continue to explore some fascinating tales from around the world of beer.
And dance for you.
That's all I got for dancing. We super appreciate you stopping by. Remember, if you have any suggestions, comments, leave them in the comments below. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Pooh.
I'm on Bergen.